2 months ago, I made a video showing all the iconic memes of SpongeBob Season 1, and you guys absolutely crushed it. So today, I'm doing Season 2, starting with these 3 memes from the episode Something Smells. SpongeBob's all set to dive into a breakfast sundae, but finds his freezer as empty as a politician's promises. With no ice cream in sight, our boy gets creative with ketchup, onions, and a peanut plant that's seen better days. Little does he know, he's about to unleash a breath so foul it would be classified as a biological weapon. In the street, SpongeBob's on a mission to say hi to every soul in Bikini Bottom. But the fish react like they've just seen a ghost running for the hills the moment SpongeBob opens his mouth. Now Patrick has no nose, so he just ends up telling SpongeBob,
"Maybe it's just because you're ugly."
Now SpongeBob is just going about his day thinking that he's ugly when we get this iconic moment.
I hope my horrible ugliness won't be a distraction to you.
Not at all, boy!
After seeing the amount of trophies SpongeBob has, Patrick gets a job at the Krusty Krab. Now, looking back at this episode, it is no surprise that these scenes have left the confines of Bikini Bottom to becoming staples in our memories of memes. We have the classic Krusty Krab phone call.
Is this the Krusty Krab? No! This is Patrick!
And then we also have that one scene where SpongeBob is simply trying to show Patrick how to open a jar.
Now put it on the lid. No, the lid. The lid. The lid.
SpongeBob wakes up and decides it's Leak Ericton Day. Problem is, all of his friends are doing literally anything else. SpongeBob, not taking the hint that maybe he should just take the day off from being, well, him, decides to DIY a friend out of bubbles. They do everything you'd expect SpongeBob to normally do. Like they go to the Krusty Krab where SpongeBob orders the entire meal for his bubble bro, making Squidward's life a living nightmare. But it's a scene later on at Goo Lagoon where they monopolize the porta potty, leaving a line of angry beachgoers.
2 hours is long enough! That's it!
Hey, Bubble Buddy, you're finished.
In a classic Bikini Bottom heist, Plankton decides he's done playing nice. His new plan? Robot crabs. He manages to bamboozle everyone except Squidward, who couldn't care less as long as he gets a day off. Now SpongeBob, being naive and trusting, doesn't even question why Krabs now sounds like Stephen Hawking. Just as Robot Krabs is about to lay his claws on the formula, a penny, Mr. Krabs' one true weakness, rolls in, distracting the real Krabs and revealing the imposter. In the grand of internet culture, certain moments are designed for greatness, or at least becoming a meme. This scene was practically begging for it.
Remember, ravioli, ravioli, give me the formuoli.
Sandy dips out of town, leaving SpongeBob and Patrick the task of pet sitting her mix of pets. Among them is Wormy, a tiny caterpillar that doesn't seem like it'd be too much of a hassle. Now SpongeBob and Patrick zero in on Wormy, making fast friends with the little guy, promising a day of endless fun and games. It's all sunshine and rainbows until they return the next day to find Wormy has pulled a fast one on them, transforming into a butterfly overnight. This is when SpongeBob and Patrick spread panic across Bikini Bottom, causing a butterfly apocalypse, and we get this scene that the internet just loves for some reason. SpongeBob decides to hit up his grandma's place. Now when he leaves, Grandma drops a goodbye kiss complete with a lipstick mark on SpongeBob, which is basically the underwater equivalent of tagging him with "I'm a total grandma's boy." SpongeBob rolls into the Krusty Krab only to become the laughingstock because of the kissy mark. The mocking gets so intense, he bails weeping all the way home. Now enter Patrick, the wisdom guru of Bikini Bottom, who suggests that SpongeBob should flex his adult muscles to Grandma to cut the baby. And this is where we get this amazing picture of Patrick.
Now you must acquire a taste for freeform jazz.
SpongeBob and Patrick become proud owners of reef blowers. These reef blowers become instruments of mayhem, sucking up and spitting out everything in their path, including but not limited to Squidward's windows and doors. This leaves Squidward trapped in his own home, and after managing to escape, his entire house is now in shambles. Squid declares he's had enough and plans to move to a place far, far away. And this is when he moves to Tentacle Acres, a gated community where everyone is a Squidward clone. It's literally Squidward's dream come true, or so he thinks. By the end of the episode, Squid is so tired of his normal routine and what he thought was the perfect neighborhood. He was so tired, in fact, that he wanted to do something different. In this SpongeBob scene, it's a prime example of how something so simple can become iconic online. Another example of how something so simple can become iconic online is this picture that happens on the episode Pre-Hibernation Week, where Sandy's on a mission to squeeze every last drop of fun out of the week before she hits the snooze button for the whole winter. After a series of near-death experiences that could have turned SpongeBob into a pancake, he decides it's time to bail and hide under Patrick's rock. Sandy goes full commando, rallying the whole Bikini Bottom into a search party. She's got everyone turning the place upside down, and then we get this iconic clip.
This is a load of barnacles.
SpongeBob and Patrick stumble upon a balloon stand. They got no cash, but they remember Mr. Krabs' golden rule of borrowing.
You can borrow anything you want, anytime, as long as you get it back before it's missed.
So they snag a balloon, planning to return it later. Only plot twist, the balloon pops. They're now balloon thieves. And in a panic, they decide to bail on Bikini Bottom, coming to terms with their new life on the run over a couple chocolate bars. But then, Patrick devours his chocolate, but then forgets about it 2 seconds later, accusing SpongeBob of theft. And we get an iconic line that I still say out loud to this day.
You took my only food. Now I'm gonna starve.
This leads to a whole drama of who stole what, escalating to them racing to confess their crime at the police station. Now at the station, the cops lock them up and this happens.
If you can't do the time, don't do the crime. Okay, time's up.
SpongeBob and Patrick dash over to Sandy's for some quality hangout time, only to find her place locked up tighter than a hipster's skinny jeans. There's a big keep out sign, which in SpongeBob and Patrick's logic translates to welcome, please enter. Inside, they uncover a winter wonderland. They toss their helmets and dive into the snow, and can I just say that in the digital age, some things just click. But this SpongeBob scene was iconic before memes were even created.
Which one of you fellers is the real Dirty Dan?
I am?
Here we are at the end of the year at Mrs. Puff's boating school, where our boy SpongeBob manages to turn his final exam into a demolition derby. Despite scoring a 6 out of 600 needing to pass, SpongeBob still all sunshines and sea bubbles about another year with Mrs. Puff. Mrs. Puff, on the other hand, is not, and for some reason, the internet has took this image and went mayhem. Like, memes are the internet's way of bonding over inside jokes, and SpongeBob is a goldmine. This scene, it's like the perfect meme template for any situation. Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy are going on vacation, leaving SpongeBob and Patrick in charge of their superhero lair full of gadgets. Now the two are stoked, but they are given one rule: don't mess with anything. And what do? Exactly what you'd expect. They stumble upon Man Ray, trapped in a frozen tar sauce situation. SpongeBob, driven by his curiosity, and Patrick, lacking any sense of consciousness, decides it's a great idea to thaw him out. Now surprise surprise, Man Ray is still evil, but he is handicapped by a tickle belt. Feeling a mix of pity and responsibility, SpongeBob and Patrick decide they're gonna teach Man Ray how to be a good guy.
I found this ID in this wallet, and if that's the case, this must be your wallet.
That makes sense to me.
Then take it.
It's not my wallet.
So SpongeBob and Patrick are hyped to see Clamu, this massive oyster, pull off some wild stunts. They find Clamu snoozing instead of showing off. And disappointed, Patrick is ready to dip. But SpongeBob isn't about to let the day be a total wash. He chucks a peanut at the oyster, hoping to get the show started, but instead of tricks, they get tantrums. Clamu goes off, crying and wrecking the whole place. Now feeling guilty, SpongeBob thinks he's the villain of this story. He's at home freaking out, thinking he's ruined everything, especially when the news is all about Clamu's meltdown being heard around the world. Meanwhile, Patrick turns into detective mode, swearing to crack the case. Now this is when the show showed us this scene that for some reason just exploded online.
It's all true! The merriment, the peanut, the Patrick!
It's another day in Bikini Bottom and SpongeBob is all hyped for his breakfast. He's got this box of kelpal, right? He's excited because inside there's supposed to be a prize. But just then, an anchor the size of a small house crashes into his pineapple. The anchor then shifts and smashes into Squidward's place too. Now Squid gets mad like always and decides to confront whoever dropped the anchor. So they all climb up the anchor chain and find out it's from the Flying Dutchman's ship. The Dutchman pops out, scares the ink out of Squidward, and then tells SpongeBob and Patrick they're gonna be part of his ghost crew forever because they boarded his ship. Now for us diehard SpongeBob fans, this scene is legendary. It's just another day at the Krusty Krab, and closing time couldn't come fast enough for Squidward. But just as they're about to shut down, a late customer rolls up, ready to drop some cash. Squid is all smug about turning the guy away because, I mean, hey, they're about to close. But then Mr. Krabs, smelling money in the water, literally rips the close sign to shreds and decides that the Krusty Krab is now a 24/7 operation. Now, some scenes in SpongeBob just click, but this one, it's got the secret sauce of humor and the relatability that made it spread like wildfire online.
Who wants a Krabby Patty at 3 in the morning?
Oh boy, 3 a.m.
After a long day flipping burgers, SpongeBob is tasked to take out the trash. While doing so, he stumbles upon some dumpster poetry and gets hooked on some of the words. Now obviously you and me know that SpongeBob is just saying cuss words, but he's totally clueless, so he keeps repeating it. Now come the next day, SpongeBob waltzes into the Krusty Krab, casually dropping every word he read behind that dumpster and causing collective jaws to drop. Honestly, I don't know how this part became such a classic meme, but if we take a closer look at the background, this single shot right here with the fish is what broke the internet. Like, bro, how? Squidward, the epitome of a wannabe art guru, is all hyped to teach art to anyone willing to learn. This is the moment when we get introduced to Bold and Brash, a painting so iconic now in the show that you can actually find this picture in someone's home.
I call it Bold and Brash.
More like belongs in the trash. Ah!
Mr. Krabs starts charging his crew for literally just existing at the Krusty Krab. Squidward, who's had enough of his nonsense, convinces SpongeBob they need to go on strike, despite SpongeBob not even grasping what a strike is. But this SpongeBob scene, it's basically the internet's version of discovering fire.
Krusty Krab is unfair! Mr. Krabs is in there! Standing at the concession! Plotting his oppression!
That's gonna be it for most iconic memes in season 2 of SpongeBob. If there are any memes you think I missed, let me know in the comments down below.